Well, let's face it, Christian life is sometimes hard. There's a lot of bumps, a lot of ups and downs. Have you ever experienced that? Boy, I sure have. I'm Pastor Dave Matthews, and on this version of the Amazing Christian Journey, we're going to look at a few hints from the Bible on how to get through that bumpy Christian life successfully. All of these come from the book of James, so stay tuned. Ang pagtakbo para kay Kristo, hindi laging madali. And so, it's not surprising that the first main topics of book of James is about dealing with difficulties in running. And the last topic in the book of James is related also to difficulties. It's almost like sinasabi nito sa atin, from beginning to end ng iyong buhay Kristiyano, makakaroon ka ng difficulties, ang problema. Is that encouraging to know? Yeah. There's always problems in life. So we're going to experience problems, sigurado. Whether they're natural problems, ordinary problems, or with relationship, pag-uusig, or attacks of the enemy, the devil, also. So what do you do with it? Paano ka tatakbo na mabuti kung may mga difficulties? Well, let's just start looking at a few of the things that he says here. We'll start with the first one, which is realize the problems have a purpose. Okay? Kung titingin tayo sa mga problems, as we can be really discouraged. Pero kung maintindihan natin, kung tayo ay Kristiyano, ang mga problema ay may layunin, lalong palakasin tayo, we can approach the problems with a positive attitude. And it really helps. Tingnan natin ang sinabi ni James dito sa chapter 1, verse 2. He says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, when you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. That perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." Yan. So, anong sabi ni James agad na dapat maging ating tugon sa mga problema? Our attitude? Rejoice, di ba? Pure joy. Yes! Mahirap ito. Mahirap. Salamat, may isa pang problema sa buhay ko. Yan. Mahirap maintindihan kung bakit yon. But if we look, we can see the reasons, right? For an unbeliever, a problem is a problem. You know, and for an unbeliever, a trial is a trial. But for a believer, trials are training from the Lord. Trials are tests. You know, problems have a purpose in our life. And he says here, ang mga trials of many kinds, they happen, the testing of our faith will produce perseverance. Yung salita para sa perseverance ay sinasabi ni iba-ibang paraan. Kung minsan sa ibang mga pagsali ng Biblia, it's called endurance. It produces endurance. Steadfastness is in there. Or ability to endure. So we see those kinds of words. So the trials are there para tumulong sa ating matuto na talaga mag-persevere. We also see other words that are important, like that perseverance will have its work, that we may become mature and complete, not lacking in anything. Just a question. Inisip mo ba na gusto ng Diyos na maging mature ka sa buhay spiritual? Gusto niya maging complete ka? Okay, pwedeng asahan may mga problema. Kasi that's part of the process na pagiging mature sa buhay Kristiyano. Kung walang problema, hindi tayo magiging really matibay. So when we face those problems, don't give up. Look at what the purpose is in those problems and look at it positively. You know, think about Peter. Diba noon, bago siya maging isang follower ni Jesucristo, ang kanyang trabaho, mangista. Right? And ang buhay ng isang mangista, hindi madali. Yeah, lagi kailangan pumunta doon sa lawa, mangista, kuminsan sa gabi, kuminsan may mga bagyo doon, or may unos na malakas, nahihirapan siya doon. Kuminsan walang nahuli doon, baka may problema financial dahil doon, kasi ang panahon matagal na hindi mabuti. Pero nagtiyaga siya, di ba? Maaari para kay Peter, bago siya maging lingkod ni Jesucristo, nanalangin siya, bakit ganito, Lord? Wala kang ginawa masama. Bakit laging lugi ako sa aking pangisda? Bakit lagi may problema? Nasira ang aking lamba, nasira ang aking bangka. Parang, bakit ganyan, Lord? Galit ka sa akin? But bakit duwadaan siya doon? Kasi inihahanda siya ng Diyos para maging isang fisher of men. He was a fisher of fish to learn to be a fisher of men. He learned perseverance. Kahit walang tumanggap sa mabuting balita, nagpatuloy pa din siya. Kahit nahirapan siya sa paglakad sa iba-ibang lugar, patagdalan ng mabuting balita, natuto siya kung paano mag-persevere. So those problems he had fishing were to prepare him to be steadfast and enduring and persevering sa kanyang paglilingkod sa kanya. He didn't know it at the time, but God did. So sometimes he just wouldn't catch anything. So he learned to persevere. I think back nung panahon na ako nag-aaral din sa US, and yung kahirapan na dinaanin ko doon sa pag-aaral, katulad ng naranasan ng iba sa inyo, yung exams and so many assignments, kulang sa tulog, and kuminsan discouragements dahil hindi naging maayos ang aking score sa exam, all those things. But also the time God was working in my life, and He gave me a responsibility sa college ministry. I was one of the leaders sa church namin doon. And kuminsan yung activity para sa church would conflict with a big assignment that I had the next day. I had to, I can't get this finished. Pero I had to learn to be committed and consistent sa aking paglalingkod sa Panginoon. And through all of that, I learned more about enduring, about focusing, about time management, about putting God first. Hindi ko alam ng panahon yun na isang araw tatawagin niya ako para pumunta sa ibang bansa, in which I would have to persevere also and be focused and put God first. All those hardships in school were to prepare me for what He had ahead. And I'm sure, ganun din para sa inyo. Whatever you're going through, hindi aksidente yon. It's part of God's plan to train you para sa kanyang gawain sa hinaharap. Kahit anong kanyang plano para sa iyo, hindi ko alam, but He knows. And the problems will be just right. Ihanda ka para doon. Yeah. It's kind of like this picture. This is kind of how we would like God's plan to be para sa ating buhay. Diba? We're on a bicycle, and there's God's plan for our life. It's nice and smooth, and it's just, yes, Lord, I'm going to follow your plan. But karaniwan, it's like that. Diba? You start out, and then there's a dip, and there's rocks, and then kind of like, bakit ganito? And you think, nandun na, and isa pa na naman, and kailangan mag-swimming, ganyan, and isa pa, parang so many problems. But sigurado, ang tao na dumadaan sa second, pagdating niya, ang kanyang tuhod malakas, marunong siya maglangoy, kaya niya mag-rock climbing at hindi matakot. Or yung una, madali lang, diba? And so God allows us to go through those, to train us more. Pati si Yesu Cristo, diba? Pumunta siya dito sa mundo, tapos namatay siya sa krus, and then, itinaas sa pinakamataas na position. The valleys are the pathway to something greater. So that's what James is saying. You're running your race, you're having problems, don't worry. Those problems have a purpose. Just magpatuloy doon. Okay? So that's the first and pinakamahalagang application. But there's others then. Right after, nakikita ang pangalawang paraan humarap sa mga difficulties is to pray and ask God's wisdom. Okay? Tingnan verse 5. It says, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. Now, kung mapapansin natin dito, yung verse 5 is connected sa verse 2 hanggang 4 tungkol sa mga problema. So, ang mga difficult, yung wisdom dito is para sa isang tao na dumadaan sa mga problema sa buhay niya. So first, he says, magalak ka dahil sa problema mo at hilingin ang karunungan mula sa Panginoon. And so, God is inviting us, kapag may problema, humingi ng karunungan. Anong dapat kong gawin, Lord? Because the problems are training, di ba? So for sure, God will want to speak to us in those. He will not be silent. He's given us an exam, and now He's going to help us pass it. And He doesn't give a little bit, right? He says here that if we lack wisdom, that what? He will give it, there it goes. He'll give it generously. Yeah, and without finding fault. So He's so willing to do that for us. It's really unusual kung may exam kayo sa school. Can you go to the professor and say, excuse me sir, hindi ko lamang sagot dito. Anong sagot dito? Hindi siya sasagot, di ba? But our Lord will answer our questions. Lord, I'm having really a problem. Ano dapat kong gawin? He's not going to say, you figure it out yourself. You should know. Hindi ganyan siya. He will actually show us what to do. So, He's a very kind professor para sa atin. And He really helps us along the way. And it says here that He also will not find fault. And that is a very important statement din. Kasi many times ang dahilan ko bakit nasa problema, is dahil something we did. Parang nagkamali tayo, ganyan, and dahil doon may malaking problema, and nahiya tayo dahil doon. And we can feel, God's not going to help me now kasi hindi ko dapat gawin yon. This problem is my fault. But it says He will not find fault. Kahit tayo ang dahilan ko bakit may problema, still nandoon siya parang tumulong sa atin. We can come with confidence before the throne of grace and receive the grace and mercy we need in times of need. So, never be afraid to go to the Lord and ask Him for help. He really wants to help. But, kung gagawin natin yun, it's important then we are ready to listen and do what He says. That's what verse 6 is. It says, "But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt. Because the one who doubts is like the wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Such a person is double-minded and unstable in all they do." Nung sinasabi dito, kung hihingi tayo ng karunungan, dapat tayong magtiwala or maniwala, hindi magduda. It doesn't simply mean that we should not doubt God will give us wisdom. It's more saying we should not doubt that God's wisdom is correct. Parang we'll say, "Lord, what should I do?" And I'll evaluate kung gusto kong gawin yon. I'm not really sure ang payo mo sa aking tama. We have to believe ang sasabihin ng Diyos sa atin is tama. For instance, let's just say you have a roommate and napansin mo na ang roommate laging ginagamit ang shampoo mo. Ganyan. I'm sure that never happens, pero in case that ever happens. And parang nainis kasi nandun ko, also wala nang shampoo natira, ganyan kasi ang roommate laging kumukuha. So, you pray and say, "Lord, I have really a big problem kasi I want my hair silky, shiny and silky black, ganyan. And I have to go ganito, at anong sasabihin ng mga tao? Lord, what should I do?" And the Lord gives you wisdom. Forgive your roommate. But you go, No. That's not what I mean, Lord. I mean, ano ang pwede kong gawin para makiganti sa Kanya? Like, pwede ba maglagay ng acido sa shampoo sa next time para may acido na masasunog ang kanyang buhok? Or maybe may CCTV camera para mag-film sa Kanya para may ebidensya? And then I'll threaten na mapapost sa Facebook kung hindi siya titigil. Yung ba, Lord? No, forgive. No, Lord. I mean, ayaw ka mag-forgive. Ano pwede gawin para maghigante? Pwede maglagay ng mantika doon sa sahig para magdula siya? See, that kind of response won't get God's answer kung we aren't sure we want to do what He says to do. But if we're really open, say, "Lord, you just lead me. I need your leadership. Show me." Talaga, handang-handa siya parang ipakita sa atin. Yan. And it's in any area of our life. When you pray about God's will for your life, His calling, don't give Him options and say, "Okay, Lord, what's your will? Here, I'll give you 3 options, Lord. A, B, or C. Yan yun lang. No D, ha? Those are the 3 na willing kong gawin." Hindi pwedeng ganyan. You have to say, "God, anything you call me to do, I'm willing to do." If we are willing to listen to His wisdom, He'll show us. Okay, well, I hope you liked the video, and if so, hit the like button below. This video from Amazing Christian Journey, like the others, is part of a longer and more detailed teaching. And if you'd like to listen to the complete teaching, just hit the link below. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, so you can join the group that's following these videos. And if you have any questions or comments on what we studied, or about Christian life in general, be sure to leave a comment and we'll get back to you right away. Thanks for watching, and live a great Christian life.